Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Morning Mentor. My name is Aaron Gutekunst here with Elevate, and today I'm going to be talking to you about securing the listing, also known as nailing your listing presentation. So last week we talked about getting your seller leads, and so this week we're going to talk about what to do after you have gotten that seller lead and you have gained entry to present them with your listing presentation either in person or virtually. Either is good in today's environment. But first, we want to start off with preparing for the listing presentation, walking the walk and being able to talk the talk. So first off, presentation. How do you want to present yourself? First, you want to be sure to dress the part, speak to your audience, be relatable, and be 100% prepared. Next, you want to be able to make sure that you've done your research on the client, the house, the neighborhood, and the opportunity. You want to be able to Google search the seller and learn as much as you can about them. LinkedIn, Facebook profiles. Remember that the first impressions matter and that your prospects want to feel a connection with you in one of the arguably most important financial transactions of their lives. So having a lot of information about them going into it is going to be a very powerful tool for you in helping to be more relatable and speak directly to the things that they are going to be concerned about. Just a quick tip, if you are presenting virtually, make sure that you're on video. You want your prospects to see you, and this increases the personal connection even if you can't really be sitting right across the table from them. Um, just be sure you're making your prospects aware that you are going to be on video, and let them know that, if they're not comfortable with being on video themselves, it's not required. Video is totally optional on their part. But next, you have your killer listing presentation. So with a solid strategy and your professionalism in place, now you need to make sure that the listing presentation can stand out in a way that just blows away your competition. Set yourself in a class above your competition so that your sellers can say to themselves, you know what? I want an agent that will sell my home like that. At the end of the day, sellers want to know that you're saturating the market with their listings. So make sure you cover every channel to show how you will be focused on making their deal happen sooner rather than later. So here are a few quick tips for an amazing listing presentation, and then we're going to dive a little bit deeper in at some specific things to look at. So first, present your listing presentation in a digital format, either on a laptop or a tablet. We're going to take a look at a digital listing presentation here in a moment, but this will actually give your prospects some opportunities to kind of engage. It'll be a little bit more dynamic, and then it's something that you can send to them in a digital format later on, like through an email. You want to walk into the listing presentation meeting with a just great, gorgeous digital listing presentation. Doing something on paper can look good, but I'll tell you what, you can do some really great stuff with a digital presentation. Um, if it does make sense, of course, you're always welcome to leave behind a printed version of the listing presentation as well, just so they have something tangible to hold on to if they want to go back and make notes, things like that. Um, but here it is, good listing presentation. We're going to go through these real fast and then take a look at an actual digital listing presentation that I threw together using agent marketing. It was a really, really cool experience. But first, solid preparation. Your listing presentation should start with this. So begin by analyzing any information that your lead provides before your pitch so you can focus on their needs first. Again, taking a look at their profile, if you will, of who they are, what their interests are in, being able to tailor your presentation accordingly so that you're addressing their needs and their concerns even before they necessarily voice them. Next, you want to have an engaging first impression. Like we mentioned before, introduce yourself, your qualifications, talk about your value proposition, your vision, philosophy, what sets you apart from Joe Agent down the street. You want to provide relevant information. So including things like local housing and market data, along with comparable homes that have been sold in the previous year. And of course, you always want to include testimonials from happy clients. In fact, one of the things I would recommend is leading up to the very last slides of your presentation, fill those with testimonials as well, because it's something positive that they will be ending that presentation on. Next, your value proposition, emphasizing any applicable specialties, what sets you apart, paint a picture for them of your marketing approach. You don't have to get into like the nitty gritty unless they ask you questions about it later on, but tell them just kind of generally about your strategies, the different channels you'll be using, the potential reach for the different marketing strategies that you employ, um, how having different tools like Elevate, Agent Marketing, VoicePad, things like that in your corner gives you an edge over your other local competitors. Um, you also want to have a professional presence. You want to dress like you've already made the sale, maintain good posture and positive body language. You want to use, of course, positivity and a bright smile throughout. And remember that you're not only selling your services, you're also selling a perception. You don't want to be walking in there, shoulders hunched, just like, hi, here's this, this is what I've got. This is what we can do for you. People aren't going to gravitate towards that. So again, positive body language, use positivity, bright smile. It helps just to make them feel more relatable to you and more maybe comforted is the word. And then finally, you want to end on a strong closing statement. Summarize, restate your value proposition, the key benefits of listing with you. Uh, and then, of course, this is always important, create a natural opening for questions and leave your strongest testimonials up on the slide deck to remind your leads of the results that you get for your clients. And in fact, leaving natural openings throughout your presentation for questions just in general is good. Just be prepared to allot a good bit of time for questions. If you run over on time, that usually is a problem. But if you are staying under in a allotted time, in a larger amount of time, staying under that, that's never really an issue, right? But anyways, let's go ahead. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at a digital listing presentation I was able to throw together just in a few minutes using the agent marketing system. So here we go. All right, so this is the opening slide of the digital listing presentation that I put together in agent marketing. So you'll notice up on the top left-hand side, there's a spot for my logo. Up on the right-hand side, there's a button that they can click on to contact me because this is a presentation, since it's digital, that I plan on emailing to them right immediately afterwards. And that way they just have it and they can continue to look through it as they need. I have contact information on the bottom right-hand side. Those things are going to stick with these slides throughout the entire presentation, so that's always in front of them. They can always reference it if need be. But first off, I'm starting off with introducing myself and the value proposition. Well, it's Sally Agent, so it's not really me, but you know what I'm saying. The agent's introducing themselves, value proposition. And next, we're going to start moving through those different steps we talked about before. So goals. What you're able to achieve for them or what you would like to achieve for them. What is your background? Telling them about your expertise, the different things that make you the person that they need to go with. Now we're getting more into strategy. So the different channels that you're going to be utilizing to market to them. So I put in here custom website for your home. We're going to do online commercials, ads, all that good stuff through Google. HD panoramic tours, so virtual tours, bringing them through with just beautiful, gorgeous images that will just showcase the best of their home. Aerial photography and mapping. So if you want to use something, using something like a drone, getting some really good aerial shots of the neighborhood, of just the surrounding area as well as the listing. Giving them again the tools to, or giving buyers the tools and valuable information to learn about your property and the surrounding area, right? Custom signage, you want to be able to showcase, yes, I use amazing, beautiful graphics that just attract the eye to that listing. Broadcasting property, letting people know through social media and website that, hey, look, this is out there, especially since, like the statistic talks about, 90% of home buyers start their search online. So having a property broadcast online everywhere is a great place to start, right? Optimizing for Google. So talk about how your not only your website but your blog, all of your search presence is optimized for SEO, and that you have a very high presence so that you're much easier to find, thus making their listings easier to find. Showcase how you use YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine, right behind just your normal Google search. And so this is another great way to get their listing out there, right? You want to showcase that you not only know how to use it, but that you use it well. Tapping into social networks. Of course, this is super important. You want to be able to spread this listing out over a huge surface area of potential reach. Property status, including notifications on that, being able to send those out. If you have a specialty, like this one is for reaching international buyers, if you have a website that can translate itself into different languages, that is important. That's very important. And so if you're in an area that has, a large melting pot, a mix of different ethnicities, different backgrounds, lots of different languages. I'm from around New Orleans, and there are a bunch just inside the city itself. So, something like this is super important. Email, that's huge. Being able to say that, I have this many amount of leads, I can get you in front of this many amount of eyes and in this many inboxes is very important. Because you're able to, again, stimulate that interest in their listing. And then finally getting into our testimonials. So what their clients get, this is what Joe S said, going on to the next one. This is what Amanda T said about, the services I was able to provide for them. Closing it out with a strong statement saying, let's go ahead, let's get started, let's get your home sold. And then finally opening it up to questions. So again, this is just a presentation that I was able to throw together using agent marketing. I'll plug them again at the end, but they're a really great platform. You should check them out. So I hope you enjoyed that listing presentation example, as well as all the tips and tricks that I shared with you before. Just as a quick reminder, we're going to have a full guide that goes over not only this, but a bunch of other stuff that has to do with marketing listings and getting seller leads later on this week. We also have a webinar that's coming up on February 11th. You guys should definitely check that out. We're going to be going over a lot more information like this with some really great industry leaders that I think you guys will enjoy watching. Don't forget to check us out at tryelevate.com, where you can see a lot of really amazing tools and just the really cool platform and services that are available there, as well as agent marketing. They're the ones that helped me to develop that presentation that you guys watched earlier. They have some really, really amazing tools and a platform that agents and brokers everywhere are being able to utilize to make some really, really cool stuff. So check them out. And anyways, I hope to see you again here next week. And until then, this has been Aaron Gudekunst with Elevate and your Monday Morning Mentor. See ya.